weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever.
Genius.
Beyonce.
Gorgeous. A stab to my self-esteem.
The world has long praised Rihanna's ascent to prominence as one of the most inspirational success stories in contemporary music. What if, however, that story had never been natural? What if her innovation was in design rather than discovery? A component of a planned system that insiders now characterize as very predatory, coercive, and manipulative. Jaguar Wright claims that Rihanna's career didn't start with a record deal. The first step was control. According to Wright, his 2005 contract with Def Jam was more than just a financial deal. A 15-year-old was under so much pressure that she gave up her independence to Jay-Z and his machine before she even realized what she was giving up. Industry insiders attested to the fact that Rihanna was detained in Def Jam's Manhattan headquarters until 3 in the morning in February 2005. They claim that this was done in order to get her signature before she could exit the building. In less than 10 hours, the label's own solicitors are said to have written, examined, and finalized a multi-million-dollar deal. Veterans have since referred to it as unheard of. There was no guardian. It took until the next day for her father to arrive, who was still in Barbados. Everyone who has heard this story is plagued by the same question. What's the rush? What's causing the isolation? Why were the doors shut until a teenager obeyed if this was merely a sign?
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
In interviews, Rihanna herself has talked about this night. However, she spoke in a tense, almost unsure tone. Her admission that she didn't sleep for 3 days following signing sounds more like trauma than excitement. Later, Jay-Z told reporters that she was not allowed to leave without signing. In retrospect, that one line seems to admit that control started before the ink was dry, even if it was uttered casually and even proudly. Jonathan Hay, Rihanna's former publicist, was the first to verify the equipment used that evening. He then admitted to creating the rumor of a Jay-Z affair in 2005 to increase her early notoriety. It sounded like a sleazy advertising attempt at first. The twist then appeared. Shortly after the signing, Hay disclosed that federal agents had questioned him. Jay-Z's suspected role in transporting juvenile performers across state boundaries was being investigated by agents. The specifics of that interrogation, which were verified in other interviews, imply that the narrative had nothing to do with rumor. It concerned a potential criminal organization operating under a record label's guise. Hay stated he felt his blood run cold when asked if he was aware of other ladies being moved for entertainment.
Beyonce for sure. I love her. I love Beyonce. Jay-Z too, I really admire.
The following timeline presents an unsettling image. Months after that office lockout, Rihanna's first single, Ponder Replay, went viral all over the world. Jay-Z personally managed every aspect, including the choice of music, attire, and interviews. He was right behind her on stage, practically obscuring her movements when she accepted her first Grammy in 2007 for Umbrella. Fans referred to it as mentoring at the time, but when seen through a Wright's perspective, it appears more like supervision. Why was it necessary for a label executive to watch her public appearances? Why was his presence the focal point of every appearance? By 2009, Rihanna and Jay-Z's relationship had changed from one of mentorship to one of reliance. Both of their careers were altered by the extensively publicized event involving Chris Brown that year. The picture was unambiguous. Chris Brown as the unrestrained aggressor, Rihanna as the injured victim, and Jay-Z as a protecting mentor. However, Jaguar Wright maintains that the story was meticulously planned.
She asserts that to shift sympathy towards Rihanna and discredit Brown as a danger to the brand, Jay-Z planned the media rollout that followed the Diane Sawyer interview, the emotional soundbites, and the well-timed remarks. Wright's assertion seems ludicrous until one considers how accurate that ad was. All of the interview questions were pre-stated. The media branch of Roc Nation oversaw the coordination of each photo release. It was a strategy, not outright admissions.
And it was pretty much said like, Jay doesn't really want awards. Well, he go to the Grammys.
Right.
He you know, come into the Black-owned spaces. Let's figure out how to work together so that way we have the relationship when it matters, not when it's convenient for you and your image. Because they all call us when the story.
According to this account, Rihanna's on-screen suffering was not unplanned. It was done professionally. Her susceptibility turned into a tool, one that sacrificed the reputation of another young performer to maintain Jay-Z's image. The time was precise. Roc Nation's influence grew as Brown's sponsorships dissolved. Jay-Z's reputation as the driving force behind Rihanna's tenacity was cemented when her subsequent album achieved platinum status. He was seen by the public as her protector and tutor. Insiders believed he was the mastermind of a cover narrative that concealed unpleasant facts. Federal documents, however, attested to the fact that High was questioned in 2005, the year Rihanna signed. He was apparently questioned by agents over the management of artists under the age of 18 without enough supervision. It appears from that wording alone that they were previously aware of problems. Why did the sale go through if law enforcement knew something wasn't right? Why didn't any corporate chain members raise an alarm? The machine was too strong to stop. Therefore, the most straightforward explanation might also be the most terrifying.
It's crazy rumors I'm sitting here talking to. So she was like, you know, rumors following me at this time a lot. And
it appeared to be a logical business move for Rihanna to go from Def Jam to Roc Nation in 2010. But in reality, Jay-Z now directly owned her whole brand, music, fashion, and sponsorships. In reality, what appeared to be independence was consolidation. According to sources close to the label, upper management had to approve every creative decision, including joint ventures and public declarations. Even her purported rivalry with Beyoncé, which was extensively publicized at the 2015 Championship News Conference, followed a pattern. While Jay-Z remained the only unchanging authority, women around him split. When Rihanna and Beyoncé declined to stand next to each other on stage at the title announcement that year, their friction became widely known. Later, handlers acknowledged that meticulous choreography was needed to keep them apart during the event. One insider claims that they were only friendly towards the cameras. Rihanna was renegotiating her Roc Nation deal that same month. There was a purpose to the rivalry's optics. It strengthened Jay-Z's position as the go-between for two of the most influential women in music, both of whom were reliant on his approval.
How do you know I'm not a gangster? Or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
There is a darker, more subdued link behind that enmity. Jay-Z's financial empire has long been entwined with Beyoncé's life and career. She started dating him at age 18, got married at age 26, and met him at age 16. Wright and other critics contend that the pattern, older male, younger performer, full creative control, echoes rumors that once surrounded Aaliyah in the late 1990s and reflects what transpired with Rihanna. Aaliyah's ex-partner, Dame Dash, has claimed that Jay-Z courted her while she was still a teenager. This timeline repeats itself with uncomfortably accurate accuracy.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up.
The system seemed unbreakable until 2011 when a new name surfaced, White, Kathy. White was a well-known public relations specialist who had previously been connected to Jay-Z. She allegedly got in touch with a tabloid in late August of that year to provide details about their relationship. She vanished 2 weeks later for reasons that the authorities said were abrupt and ambiguous. The autopsy was never made public,
although the official explanation pointed to a medical occurrence. Questions were immediately raised by the timing. Beyoncé revealed she was expecting Blue Ivy just 48 hours before her death.
How excited is your husband about this baby?
You can only imagine and multiply that. It's like the time can't come fast enough.
I think you should enjoy this time while you can.
I'm trying my best, but I'm still anxious. I want to hold the baby.
I'd like to hold the infant. According to insiders, White recently informed friends that she planned to make her relationship with Jay-Z public. She even allegedly made a financial demand in return for silence, according to one person. The coincidence is astounding, whether it is true or not. A public relations specialist is getting ready to reveal a sudden, unexplained tragedy, a global pregnancy announcement, and an affair. The investigation team at the time observed that White's online accounts were deleted, her phone records were sealed, and the story was quickly forgotten. Mainstream outlets never received any follow-up. That incident was the tipping point for Wright. She asserts that White's death was not an accident. The most disturbing aspect is the purported timing, which served as a warning to anyone who thought about speaking up. Beyoncé's public persona changed from wife to mommy in the same week. The alleged mistress of Jay-Z completely disappeared from the discussion. Because silence was not only required, but also enforced in that empire's structure, Wright's message was clear. Almost as soon as it was made public, Kathy White's story was taken off. Still, pieces are left. The missing autopsy, the friends who said she had contacted a tabloid, the leaked 911 call from a West 19th Street apartment in Manhattan, and the indisputable fact that her name continues coming up whenever Jay-Z is under investigation.
So Jay-Z's also been linked or connected in doing business with him. Now, Jay-Z has also been tied to Diddy through rumors and longtime allegations and conspiracies. We've all seen them online, like the one that claims Jay-Z allegedly cheated on Beyoncé with Kathy.
Kathy White's destiny was more than a coincidence if the accusations are even partially accurate. It was the pinnacle of damage prevention. She was accused of disclosing to a friend that she knew too much about private meetings, contracts, and a secret that would have destroyed the couple's well-guarded reputation. That voice vanished 48 hours later, and the world was rejoicing over a pregnancy announcement that brought back the Carters' faultless story.
So much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people.
The threads start to converge at this point. The controlled media narratives, the pattern of silent witnesses, and the youthful performer forced to sign at midnight. Every chronology comes together at a single pivotal character whose impact appears impervious to repercussions. The image gets clearer the more we investigate these relationships. In the entertainment sector, power is more than just fame or wealth. It concerns who is in charge of the narrative and who vanishes when that authority is challenged. The disappearance of Kathy White wasn't just a sad accident. There was a message. According to all accounts, Beyoncé was right in the thick of things. Kathy White passed out in her Manhattan residence on September 2, 2011. Although the original police notes described the incident as suspicious, the official version described it as a sudden brain aneurysm. The timing was what made it unusual. White had promised to provide information about her relationship with Jay-Z to a tabloid just 2 weeks prior. And then, 48 hours before she recovered, Beyoncé publicly revealed her pregnancy with Blue Ivy. We can't help but wonder if that timing was orchestrated or just a coincidence.
Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against him.
Kathy was clever, self-assured, and at last prepared to share her story, according to many who knew her. Later, her friend and model, Claudia Jordan, acknowledged that Kathy had been candid about her involvement with Jay-Z.
The official report that determined that White was a passing natural disagreed starkly with Jordan's story. The autopsy was never made public, which is even odder. The hush felt too absolute for an occurrence that rocked the entertainment and public relations worlds. And when Beyoncé dropped Lemonade, the album that made Whispers of Infidelity a worldwide sensation 5 years later, many questioned whether it was actually about betrayal or if it was a well-timed diversion from Kathy White's ghost. Lemonade celebrated Beyoncé as the ultimate survivor, rather than merely portraying her as a lady who had been wronged. The public witnessed anger and tears, the newspapers saw salvation, and the art world saw empowerment. However, what if containment was the project's ultimate goal? Even though Kathy's story had been forgotten for years, it continued to circulate in backstage rumors by transforming Jay-Z's supposed infidelity into a well-crafted parable of forgiveness. The world's empathy was reset by Beyoncé. She didn't simply take charge of the communication, she eliminated the necessity for anyone to inquire about 2011 once more.
Oh, internet, people taking pictures of you and putting your personal life or exploiting your personal life as entertainment. I think people are so brainwashed. You get up in the morning, you click on the computer, you see all these pictures, and it's all you think of is the picture and the image that you see all day, every day.
When we consider what occurred before Kathy, before the empire was even firmly established, that silence becomes even more deafening. The loss of Aaliyah in 2001, one of music's most sensitive wounds, was rekindled by Dame Dash's 2023 comments. Dash suggested that Jay-Z had been fixated on her before her departure and referred to her passing as odd. It was a statement that altered well-known history. If accurate, it would indicate that Kathy and Aaliyah, two women related to Jay-Z, had remarkably identical outcomes 10 years apart. And in both situations, Beyoncé's reputation grew stronger in the wake, her image polished and unassailable. Such patterns cause us to think, but they don't indicate conspiracy. How many fortuities can a career hold? The more we investigate, the more evident it is that this might not have been about just one or even two women. By the middle of the 2010s, rumors that Jay-Z's company served more as a talent holding cell than a label started to circulate through the studio hallways. Artists who attempted to quit discovered that their contracts were abruptly extended, their careers stagnated, or their projects inexplicably delayed. In 2015, Ye was one of the first to publicly criticize Jay-Z for allegedly holding musicians hostage through tight contracts for titles. What at the time seemed like a dispute now reads as a warning. An insider yelling about a system based on ownership rather than cooperation. When Rihanna discreetly renegotiated her Roc Nation contract in 2017 following more than 10 years of creative control terms, the same tendencies apparently reappeared. According to insiders, after years of restricted access to her own masters and trademark rights, the rules were changed to give her some degree of independence. That kind of delay didn't make sense for an artist of her caliber unless it was intended to keep her bound. Since then, attorneys close to the label have asserted that Roc Nation contracts, once signed, guarantee that even the most vocal stars remain silent and contain layers of NDA, as well as severe financial penalties intended to quiet anyone who questions internal processes.
Sales on their stocks right after that made a lot of money, including Sean Carter. Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
If Rihanna's contract was negotiated under duress, what does it mean for all subsequent performers? It appears that the blueprint is consistent. Legal threats enforce devotion, silence, and seclusion. There might be a dozen lesser-known voices stuck in the fine print for every superstar like her, using the very renown that was promised to them to pay for their release. The story is no longer solely about manipulation. It concerns a sector of the economy where the most valuable asset is quiet. Furthermore, if such is the case, the enigma surrounding Rihanna's story is not resolved. It is merely the first name on a lengthy list,
That you're a big fan of Beyonce.
Cracks in the meticulously crafted coalition started to emerge by 2015. Beyoncé and Rihanna notoriously declined to stand next to each other at the title launch. The logistics were faulted by publicists. On the other hand, insiders hinted that the man who launched both of the women's careers was the cause of their ongoing conflict. When Stephen A. Smith disclosed in 2023 that Jay-Z had personally called to prevent him from making on-air comparisons between Rihanna and Beyoncé, he added further sourness. Smith hinted that the motivation was protection rather than vanity. Jay-Z was able to control perception in addition to music, and the foundation of that whole system was Beyoncé's image. The storyline changed when one star threatened to overshadow another. Rivals turned into a tactic. Quietness turned into survival. The pattern spans several decades. 3 catastrophes, 3 women, and 1 power couple whose influence remained constant. Aaliyah's plane crash in 2001. In the shocking 2024 lawsuit, Kathy White claimed in 2011 that Jay-Z and Diddy had molested a 13-year-old during an MTV after-party in 2000. Young women, secrets, and lost voices are at the heart of every case. And in the silence that followed, Beyoncé's career seemed to thrive each time. There was more to the 2023 federal case than merely a legal one when it was refiled in 2024. Everything that the industry had attempted to ignore was back. Court documents detailed incidents that were spoken in whispers for years, with names hidden in sealed settlements and non-disclosure agreements. We're forced to wonder, if the rumors have followed him for 2 decades, why is the world only listening now?
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make a...
Because perhaps fame and wealth were never the only factors involved. Perhaps layers of dread, silence, and calculated reinvention served as the foundation for the empire we have revered for its perfection. What is this empire, actually, if Beyoncé allegedly assisted in defending the kingdom at any cost, and Rihanna was molded to be Jay-Z's weapon? A network of secrets too strong to reveal, or a dynasty of music? What shadows does the spotlight conceal when it burns this brightly, we ask you? Are we seeing brilliance, or something much more sinister lurking beneath the glitz? This narrative is far from over, so please share your thoughts in the space provided below. Until the next time, remember that every empire eventually faces its demise, remain inquisitive, and never go to sleep.